Was them? I'm back from the dungeon. I escaped, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm AI and Ruby just generated me. You just using me. Say words. Say words.
Listen, okay, y'all, I had to let him free. Okay, the hostile takeover was working out, but then I was like, his work was just too good. And then he decided he was going to go on strike. He wanted to start a union of the basement dwellers. It was getting complicated. So I said, okay, we'll just let him out. Fine,
I
whatever.
even got a new camera for this. You see it? It's like new. I'm
See,
I'm using my real camera now. That deserves a like and subscribe. I'm just saying. I'm trying. I'm shilling
it
at this
definitely
point.
does. It definitely does. And you know what? I think what the viewers really want to know right now, are you using a new microphone? Because we all know that the viewers want to know about your mic. You know it.
Well, I got my spare. If something happened to this one, I think I fixed it. But the spare one is right here. I have it right here. You know what I'm saying? Just in case something happened. I'm just saying. I don't think we're having problems yet. Have we? I don't think we have.
It's been about 45 seconds, so
This
that's not impressive.
listen, I'm setting records. No clipping in 45 seconds. How you day, Ruby?
You know what? My day is going swimmingly. I don't even know why I said that, but I am super excited for tonight. Okay. I know that we have a crazy range, including a couple updates. I'm super excited. We've been doing the show. This is now four episodes. It's basically like a month we've been doing this show, and we've been doing it long enough. We actually get some really great updates. So, like, I'm super excited. How about you?
I'm excited. Let's get into it. We do got it. We do start off with an update. So shout out to that. Shout out to Shar and everybody in the chat. Shout out to everyone. Let's start off with this first story done by our one and only Ruby.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So before we go any further, it is imperative that I give you this wonderful news update. Okay. Now, for those of y'all who have been with us watching for a few weeks now, you'll know that we did the story of the Toussaints, pictured right here. Now, for those of you who did miss the original story, I will give you a quick recap. So basically, on or around March 22nd of this year, 2023, Abigail and John Dickens Toussaint were making their way to Léogâne, okay? That is about 27 miles west of Port-au-Prince in Haiti. They were on their way to visit sick relatives and do their part. You know, the way you do. You go and you take care of sick relatives, visit sick relatives. However, they were warned by many, not the least of which would be public safety information online that suggested the assassination of the president of Haiti in 2021 that it has been incredibly unstable. And therefore, it's not the greatest risk to take right now. But they were thinking to themselves, like, hey, listen, we're of Haitian descent, right? Sure, we're American citizens, but we're of Haitian descent and our family needs us. So we're going to go down there. We ain't going to bother nobody. Didn't even make it to the family member's household. On their way from the airport to go see their family member, the bus was stopped by a gang, in essence, who demanded a payoff from the bus driver. Now, this is a typical thing, apparently, that happens. The bus driver did not pay off enough. Paid a little bit, not enough. So they decided to snatch up some folks so that way they could ask for direct ransom to get paid. We'll say the difference of what the bus driver didn't give them, but in reality, way more than what the bus driver had originally denied them. Now, when we say way more, they initially made the first ransom demand. And although the family could scarcely afford this, $6,000, they did definitely make that payment to the kidnappers, right? They love their family, and Abigail and John Dickens Toussaint have a 2-year-old child at home waiting for them. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough. The kidnappers soon demanded more. Now, some reports say something like, well, they only paid the $2,000 of the $6,000, and then they were able to uh, get the additional $4,000 from well wishers, perhaps from government support, something. We're not really 100% sure. The reports are quite unclear. What we do know is that after that, the kidnappers did definitely raise the ransom demand. Depending on what report you look at, the amount demanded was somewhere between $400,000 and $600,000. Now, nearly a month later, this lovely couple was released in Haiti, where they first went to a family member's house to, as they said, clean up. And then they did actually end up making it all the way home. So let's take a look at their petition on change.org, because that is where right now we have the majority of the updates. We don't currently have anyone from the family or the
But we're having technical difficulties again. Let me see if I can finish this. What we
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, not on the internet, just on that thing. Let's see if we can. Let's end this window capture. We had technical difficulties. Let's see if I can get it in another setting.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if we can get it back working again.
Y'all, the internet gods just don't want us to be great. See, the internet guys, they be jealous, okay? Because they see our greatness. It's right there, all this potential, okay? That's all it is. That's all it is, right? Don't get it twisted.
Crazy thing is, we did all this before we came on. It all worked. So we did all this before we came on, and it went all the way through. So let's finish this story. Let's see. I think it was about at
the mannequin challenge. .tz says the mannequin challenge. Oh, listen, I'm the greatest mannequin ever. I used to win that game all the time when I was a kid. I would get close though.
Okay, I think we about at the. We go. All right, we got it back. We got it back.
Okay.
See.
A month later, this lovely couple was released in Haiti, where they first went to a family member's house to, as they said, clean up. I can't hear it. And then they did actually end up making it all the way home. So let's take a look at their petition on change.org, because that is where right now we have the majority of the updates.
If the audience can hear it, then it's fine. I know what I said, right?
Or the couple themselves speaking out. So let's take a look.
Fix it by next time.
Here, right? So you have the change.org petition that was updated for us. And one of these updates right here says, "Thank you so much for signing and sharing. There aren't really enough thank yous in the world to express our gratitude on how much all of this helps us. My family and I want to be clear that you do not need to donate money to boost the petition. You can just share." Christy's part of the family. Right now, you can see that that was March 26th. And that was one of the first updates. Now, I want to take a look at the next update, because this is the important one. And as you can see right here, this update was April 17th of 2023, right? So nearly a month later, we see the update. It says, "They are back home." They say, "Thank you guys for signing. My family was released around 11 a.m. on Thursday, April 13th, and arrived in South Florida on Saturday, April 15th. Couldn't have done it without your support," right? Now, it's interesting that as we're sitting here speaking, even people are still signing the petition. I'm not sure if it's that they haven't looked at the update, they haven't heard the, I'm going to say, minimal amount of coverage that it's gotten, that the Toussaints have been released and are actually back home now. Maybe there's a lack of belief because there has been zero coverage. We have heard nothing directly from the family, nothing directly from the Toussaints. So that might be why it is that people still feel the need to come in and sign the petition. However, I did want to give you guys that update. Listen, they are home, they are safe, and as of right now, there is not a travel ban, but rather a complete and utter warning that travel should be banned. You should not travel to Haiti. There is no safe reason why at this point right now, the kidnappings, the danger, in essence, to tourists or to travelers who are going into Haiti, to be honest with you, the danger level to Haitian citizens currently is relatively high. So please, y'all, if you didn't hear the story, okay, I'm going to tag the previous story here so that way you can take a listen, especially take a listen to the words of wisdom. For those of you who see yourselves as travelers or who like to travel, for example, the passport bros would be a big group right now who's into traveling, you need to heed this very sage advice, because when Haitians are not safe in Haiti, when people from these countries are not safe in those countries, then you can imagine what might happen to you as a complete and utter foreigner. So you do need to heed the words of wisdom and travel as safely as possible, y'all.
I just don't know how. Like, how did that happen though? Like, I swear to God, because my mic has like a button and it's like a mute button, and I pressed the mute button.
Yeah.
And somehow you heard me anyway, which I find very problematic, because that means then that I can't turn off my sound. Which is, I guess it's good to know that at the beginning of the stream before you do something horribly embarrassing and everyone hears it or something, but like still. So my bad, y'all. I didn't mean to ruin my update for like the 15th time. Like seriously, we are like, what? Like 15 minutes in and already. But it's okay. Like I said, they don't want us to be great. We will rise above. Okay, we will rise above. Now, I was really happy to hear that the Haitian couple got released, but I think it's kind of weird that no one seems to know. It's like there's been no coverage on it at all. There was so much coverage about them going missing and whatever. And then it's like the fact that we've gotten them back and the family hasn't really, except for that one update, right, on the petition, where's the updates? Like, where's, the family coming out explaining, or the Tweetsauts just showing face to say, hey, we alive, y'all, what's up? Or the cameras, because normally there's cameras that follow people to do like the greeting where you run to each other and they get to hug and cry and the baby. None of that happened. I just think it's a really weird situation. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's strange that no one knows what happened. No one knows what's going on. I see people looking for it, so that's the one thing. It's a good thing. People want to make sure they're good, but like no national news coverage, no like event, no update on them being back. So that's what we do here, man. We gotta make sure we get y'all the news as much as possible so that y'all know what's going on, who's doing what, and all the other situations. So that's the one thing that I'm glad we can do. And that's the one thing that we got to keep on doing. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
Yes, yes, yes.
And speaking of, we do have another news story, a sadder news story that unfortunately affects a lot of us because it's happening right around our neighborhood, around every neighborhood. You're going to see in the video what I'm talking about. Y'all going to see shortly what is happening in this video because everything is going crazy right now in America. So let's watch. That's what we got to hear. There you go. All right. I had to set it up. There you go. Let's watch. America, we have a problem. No, we have two problems. Because this story started off with just this story, and then something else happened, then something else happened, then something else happened, and then something else happened, and something else happened, and you get the point. And then it was going to be about one thing, and then it became about another thing, and then it came about another thing, and you get the point again. But we have a problem. Let's go over the two problems. One is a gun problem, and one is a mental health problem. Because one without the other is way less effective than together. Because I know right now I'm getting somebody in the comments getting ready to scream. I know what you're saying. Second Amendment is right. You can't break that. You should just blame mental health. And then we have someone else in the comments. Why don't you blame guns? Why it's all about mental health? Now you care about mental health? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Oppression Olympics. It's going, here we go again. All that dumb stuff y'all talking. It's two problems. Because one without the other is better. We didn't have what's happening now in the world when people were better in mental health. After COVID, people started going a little bit cuckoo. It was calm for a minute. Now they're starting to go a little insane. We're going to talk about all of that. I'm going to explain where my point is coming from. But then you add guns to it. It makes it even more dangerous. Just imagine, can you think someone can go and shoot a crowd of people and injure probably a lot of them? Versus a knife where you go stab. If you see 3 people get stabbed, you get stabbed, that's on you. You got AK-47, there's nothing to stop. In this case, this first case we talking about ain't got nothing to do with it. Let's talk about it. You see, Raphael rang the wrong doorbell and was shot by Andrew Lester. This man right here. Raphael had no reason to think he was in danger when he approached the house where he believed his younger brothers were waiting for him to pick them up, his family says. He got a couple bullets inside his body instead of a couple of twins coming out to give him a hug. Prosecutors have charged Andrew Lester, 85-year-old, with shooting Raph twice on the evening of April 13th when the 16-year-old accidentally mixed up the older man's address with that of his brother's friend. Although Raph survived and reported in good spirits, the shooting sparked protests in Kansas City and condemnation across the country. Now, the problem with this is, we're going to go over this, is when you have people like Tucker Carlson and Fox News and all these people who is in trouble for lying and openly admits they lie a lot. And you see during the George Floyd thing when Tucker Carlson would literally state, he stated this now, that they are coming to take your homes. They're coming to take your property. Tucker Carlson words, not mine. I'm not insinuating. That's exactly what he said. Who is they? I don't know who they is. You can guess who they is. They're coming to take your homes, what you work for. And Andrew Lester, probably one of them Fox News watchers. I don't have a clue who he is, but I know if I was an 85-year-old man and I watched Fox News, listen to Tucker Carlson for 3 years, tell me how people are coming to take from me, and a young man runs into my house, young man might have problems. We have a problem, America. Some of your talking points done cause mental health to go bad. Your protection of the Second Amendment, my right to bear arms, causing problems. Let's go talk about some more problems. Alabama shooting up teen brother among 3 arrested in Dadeville party attack as motive speculated. 2 teen suspects have been arrested in connection with a mass shooting at the Sweet 16 birthday party that left 4 people dead and 32 injured in Dadeville, Alabama. Dadeville announced the arrest of 17-year-old Tyreek McCullough and a 16-year-old Travis McCullough at a press conference on Wednesday after remaining tight-lipped about the progress of the investigation for 4 days after the horror attack at the Mahogany Masterpiece Dance Studio on Saturday night. A third man, a 20-year-old, was also arrested. The teens were taken into custody on Tuesday night and charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. More charges expected to follow. High school football star Phil Dodwell, 18, was one of the 4 killed in this, and it is murdered that he died saving the life of his sister, Alexis, whose birthday celebration it was. Jonkevia Nicole Kiki Smith, 17, Marcia Collins, and Corbin Holston were named as the other 3 victims of the shooting, which left many more injured. Joe Biden said, what has our nation come to when children cannot attend a birthday party without fear? You have bulletproof book sacks now. Let's carry on. I just sent that out there for that reason. We got bulletproof book sacks now. You have like training walls of guns now. When I was in school, we didn't have that problem. Man arrested in shooting of 2 Texas cheerleaders that one mistakenly got into the wrong car. One of the victims was critically injured in the shooting that unfolded early Tuesday outside of the H-E-B supermarket in Elgin, Texas, police said. Of course, it's Texas. A man has been arrested after 2 Texas cheerleaders were shot, one critically, after one of them mistakenly got in the wrong car, according to police, and the owner of the gym where they trained. Officer in Elgin, about 25 miles northeast of Austin, responded to reports of shots fired outside of an H-E-B supermarket. Man shooting at a supermarket. Information suggests that the altercation occurred in a parking lot of H-E-B and multiple shots were fired into the vehicle. 2 of the car's occupants were struck by gunfire, with one victim sustaining serious injuries and transported by helicopter to where they were listed in critical condition. The suspect, Pedro Tello Rodriguez, 25, had been charged with deadly conduct at 3rd-degree felony. That's one. And then we had the cheerleader girl that went into the wrong driveway and was just turning the driveway, and the old man shot her. That's another one that I had. I didn't want to just put them out there because you get the drift by now, right? You get the context. I could have put that up too. I could have read that. I read you 3 of them. This is depressing. This is sad. You make me wonder, do I even want kids? What is my nephew going through? What does he got to go through? Let's go to the full report. Let's go to what we're here for. Let's go for what we're here for right now. There have been more mass shootings than days in 2023, database showed. The United States has faced at least 163 mass shootings so far this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. There have been more mass shootings than days in 2023. Mass shootings are defined as an incident in which 4 or more victims are shot or killed. Used to be more, but they want to, let's be honest, they wanted to add gang violence to it, so black people can even that number out. So when it was like 7 or 8, it used to be more skewed white, but now it's like evenly, a little more even. Well, based on numbers, you look it up. Just saying, it's bigger than black and white. I'm just saying though. Sometimes I'm just saying people skew stats to change it for specific reasons, so they can like put certain stats out there. I'm just telling y'all facts how life works. Me working in these fields, I understand how the game works. Mass shootings there have been more than 30 mass shootings in the U.S. in the first 17 days of April alone. Though mass shootings don't make up the majority of gun violence incidents in America, the impact on communities and victims is evident. The incident, like the shooting in Nashville, Tennessee, Buffalo, New York, Uvalde, Texas, continues in cities in the morning and for spark repeated calls for gun reform. Look at this. Look, all these places. 146 is more than that now. Look at that. My state. For some reason, this part of America, right there. For some reason that is like good. I don't know. Right there. But them like states nobody go to, right? You know what I'm saying? Oregon they had a mass. What is that? On the border. I don't know that. You see where, and look at Florida, by the way. Look at Florida. By the way, Louisiana is wild too. Look at Florida. Florida probably have the most. Then is it, what is it? South Carolina, Florida. This whole side is crazy. There's a lot in California. You got the Dadeville incident, the Louisville, Kentucky incident. We just going through them. Nashville, Tennessee. That's just Michigan State University. I want y'all to understand. Oakland, California. Look at that. Steppenwolf. Look at this. Look. I just want y'all to show it. Look at these. Look at all these cities. 11 people were shot. Look. I just want y'all to understand what's going on here. We have a problem, America. And you trying to ignore it. You trying to pretend like it didn't happen. You trying to pretend it doesn't. It would go away. If we listen, Republicans. This is me calling you out. You pretend something don't happen so long until it gets out of control. It gets out of control. A lot of y'all talking points is doing just as much damage to the mental. Maybe it has nothing to do with gay people. Maybe you just obsessed with the LGBTQ people. Maybe everything is, what is wrong with it? Did you see how many shootings and everybody's worried about? You see how many shootings Florida had? You see how violent Florida is? People talk about liberal states. Florida has the most mass shooting. That is not a liberal state. Let's go back up here. Look at all the crime. Yeah, look at the crime. Look at how many, by the way, this ain't even just, these are conservative sections of Florida. These are conservative sections of Florida. Look at Louisiana, Tennessee. Look at this. These are conservative states, by the way. Or only, look at this. Most of these are conservative states outside, of course, New York. Most of these are conservative states. Listen, you can ignore a problem so long, you can pretend it's not happening. The only lady that's gonna hit you. The only lady that's gonna come back to hunt you. Made a video every week about that. Why don't care about us? Say it, I'ma say it again. Here you vote them all out. Like, you're gonna play this game, and you're gonna keep seeing these charts gonna get bigger, more and more. Yeah, that story is very sad. Y'all saw the numbers. Numbers do not lie. It is becoming a big issue in the States. And Ruby, what's your thoughts?
The thing is that it's not becoming a big problem in the States. It's been an astronomically large problem in the States for so long that America has been able to, and yes, predominantly, obviously, it's Republicans, or really, because that's the majority of people that are part of the NRA and want to literally turn a blind eye to what's happening, and pretend that gun reform is equivalent to robbing people of their Second Amendment rights. Of course, it's not, and of course, they know it's bull. But I think the thing is that the way that the Republican Party is set up, and we talk about this more than once tonight, because we're going to talk about it again when we do the Ali Alexander segment, at the very least. And the problem with the Republican Party is that it has set up to literally abhor, absolutely hate, detest, despise facts, and to be all feelings. And so the people who are the talking figureheads of the Republican Party, they don't care about any of this, nor do they believe in anything. They don't believe in Trump. They don't believe in QAnon. They don't believe in any of it, right? They sat there, Tucker Carlson, huge proponent of all of the above, right, will sit there and privately send emails talking about how these people are all crazy and how he would never da-da-da-da-da, and he's sending his kids, he's scared to send his kids to school now, and da-da-da, the shootings are getting out of hand. He really wishes that someone would pass gun reform. He would write all of that in an email and then get on, like, TV and lie to everyone, right? So the problem is that the most influential people in that party that could move and have some good actually be done, they care more about their paycheck, and they care more about misleading, I'm going to say either vulnerable Americans or gullible Americans. They really feel like, if we just mislead them, though, we can steal all their money, or we can get them to keep paying us. And that's really what the problem is. So, as I'm going to say again, multiple times, they don't care about kids. They don't care about human lives. They don't care about American lives. They don't care. They do not care. Do not let all their pro-life stuff fool you. They don't care. They don't care. And the fact that they only have ever accepted a movement towards gun reform in any way, just recently. And it's not because of this wealth of all of the shootings, right? It's not because of that. It's because now what they can do is they can say, oh my God, but this one trans person did this one shooting.
And so now we need gun reform to control trans people having guns. Like, that's really all it is, right? They don't care. They do not care. And until everyone wakes up in the same way that like Black people have to wake up to the fact that the Democrats don't care about you, right? They do not care. Stop just sitting back and twiddling your thumbs and thinking, well, the left cares about us and the right doesn't. No, neither side cares, right? But the left is just manipulating you. At least the right tells you they don't care. So it's like, we can't just sit on our thumbs anymore. We have to actively wake up, recognize the games that people have been playing with you politically, right? Stop making everything about identity politics and like, let's get together so we can make some meaningful and significant change that actually, I don't know, saves our children's lives, for example. Just saying.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, this one of the House speakers of the state government in Tennessee, they asked him, what are you gonna do with gun violence and with children? He's like, nothing. Like, what you mean nothing? What's gonna happen to kids? I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't doing nothing about it. Then they asked him about his NRA ties, and he kind of walked off. But you know how that is. You're like, it is what it is. I get paid to do this, so they don't care. I also put in the end of that, which I'll see on the weekly video, about Tucker Carlson telling the older white gentleman that when George Floyd happened, that Black people was coming to take your homes with pitchforks. So when you think about that, and if somebody, I don't know if he's been saying it for the last few years, but if he's been saying that for the last 3 years or 4, and then all of a sudden you see a Black guy come to your house, and like, oh, it's time to take my house. And this man, 85 years old, he's insane. He probably don't know nothing. He's crazy. He probably listens to Fox News all day, which also got sued for and lost a case where they settled over Old Dominion in their lies. When they openly admit they lied about it, just make up stories. So they don't care. It's all a game, and that is what they do. They play games with you.
I don't think you give them too much credit, though. I'm going to be real with you. I think that just like, they literally committed treason last year, right? I mean, you think about it, it is literally treason for you. I mean, this is just an American law, right? Unless I'm totally misunderstanding the law. But, for you to sit there and try to overthrow the government, that would literally be treasonous, right? Like, but somehow or another, the right wing can literally collaborate together to actively try to overthrow democracy in the government. Okay. And there's no punishment for that. They're not considered treasonous. They're cool. Most of them got a slap on the wrist, 25 seconds in prison at most. And that's if they did something horrific, like, I don't know, beat down cops, right? And then they even sat there and cried like, oh, they're victims. Look how badly they were treated, right? So, I mean, this is what we're talking about. These people, they got galvanized by the fact that they could literally commit treason and get away with it. So now they're like, yo, why are we following all these silly stand your ground laws? I can't wait. Y'all don't understand. A lot of stories didn't make it into the news segment this week, but I might release some of these just freestanding throughout the week, because you don't understand how much they are admitting, okay, that they wish they could go back to the days where they could just freely lynch Black people, okay? Like, I swear to God, people are being caught saying these things, okay? So I don't believe that this is like some accidental thing, or they were actually fearing for their lives. I don't believe that crap at all. I believe with what the police are doing, and January 6th and the lack of repercussions, that people are like, yes, finally, I could just murder freely. That's what I think it is, for real. Sorry about it.
It is. Speaking of leaders, I think Ruby has a story about some leaders. Let's get to it.
Now, to be fair, okay, this is not exactly my story so much as this is an update on Zel's story. Now, I'm going to play the intro first. I'm going to tell you this is it's an update, but I feel like it's also might be a new kind of segment. Okay, so Zel, make sure you're paying attention too, because this is kind of for the both of us. Okay. I'm sorry. I think that's so funny. Okay, let me pause. I love the fact that I found that. Anyway, okay, so Here is a segment. Do we call cap or do we retract? Okay. So last week, I and Zel from the basement had some harsh criticism for the Dalai Lama based on his prevert ways, shall we say. Now that all had to do with a conversation that was caught on tape between the Dalai Lama and a child, where he asked the child if the child wants to suck on his tongue. But, and we're gonna listen to the explanation. There's an explanation. Of course there's an explanation. Preverts always have explanations. However, innocent people also have explanations, right? Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We are going to listen to the explanation, and at the end, we've got to decide, do we as individuals and as an organization, do we call cap or are we retracting, right? Do we call cap or do we retract? So let us all observe, everyone take a listen. It's important because we need to know if the Dalai Lama is as corrupt as, the average Catholic bishop. Okay, let's go.
Explain the viral Dalai Lama video. They say it's not what you think. Tibetans in India are carrying out shame media protests against coverage of a viral video of an interaction between the Dalai Lama and a child. The protesters and other members of the Tibetan community say the video is part of a concerted campaign to discredit the Nobel Prize-winning exile leader who preaches nonviolence, religious harmony, and advocates for a free Tibet against Chinese occupation.
The Tibetan community and Buddhist followers across the globe are definitely hurting and traumatized by this horrifying accusation against His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
Let me tell you right off the bat, when people start going to this level of extreme, just like in their oh, people are just traumatized around the world over these allegations. I'm sorry, but that to me already reeks of the exact same thing we were talking about with the right and how, they manipulate people, right? They use all these appeals to emotion and whatever. I feel like it's the same thing because if you're innocent, you don't have to be all extra. You don't have to be all extra, right? You could just state things very plainly, be like, yo, we understand why it looks weird to y'all, but we also understand what went wrong. Let us explain, because we understand the concern. That is terrible, right? I feel like innocent people would be more concerned about the children and more concerned about validating. Yeah, of course, that would be terrible if that was the real scenario, but that's not what it was. That's how I feel. But okay, let's keep watching.
An act of kindness, a jovial cultural prank, and grandfatherly affection into something lustful and immoral.
Tibetans say the suck my tongue comment was a mistranslation by the 87-year-old leader who doesn't speak English fluently.
His Holiness's mother tongue is Tibetan. In English, he struggles to find words.
Tibetans say the Dalai Lama meant to say my tongue, an ancient Tibetan figurative, not literal saying, used in a game that elderly play with kids to teach them there is no end to want.
Okay, so if y'all didn't catch that, right? So, because when I first heard it, it was like, he didn't mean to say suck my tongue. He meant to say eat my tongue. It didn't make it better initially, but they're saying that now there's a cultural mismatch, okay? And so in their culture, eat my tongue, it's part of a game, it's part of a thing. And it's to teach children a moral, right? It's like kind of like idioms, right? But their version of it. And the lesson plan is for them to learn that there is no end to want, okay? So let's listen to the game now.
It goes like...
First, give me a kiss on my cheek. Malong dugo. I need you to touch your forehead on my forehead. No go. Let's touch our noses. Chico. Give me a kiss. Which means I give you everything, so the only thing left for me is for you to eat my tongue.
The Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of over 6 million Tibetans and has been living in exile in India since 1959 after China's occupation of the region. Many Tibetans suspect the virality of the video was somehow fueled by opponents of Tibet's campaign for autonomy, although no evidence was provided.
There's immense geopolitical repercussions, and everybody knows China is behind that. So please don't spread.
I don't think everybody knows that. To be fair, I don't think everybody knows that now, right? Because even I feel, I don't know, maybe I understand their kids and stuff, right? But I feel like we skipped a lot of steps between
I don't know, what we were talking about, like, oh, touch my nose, touch my forehead, kiss my lips. I've given you everything now. All you can do is eat my tongue. I don't know. First of all, I feel like we skipped a lot of steps there. That's the first thing. The second thing is though, is that, and again, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe that one comment was taken out of context, but I don't remember anyone else mentioning any of the rest of this. Right? No one mentioned anything about kissing lips, or because I'm positive someone would have mentioned the kissing lips part, especially, right? Because it seems like it would be something noteworthy along with the suck my tongue part. And no one mentioned that. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like if it was a whole story, right, and there's other parts to it, then why didn't anyone mention all these other parts? And wouldn't they also be mistranslated? Like, I kind of feel like suck versus eat, those are, I know they're not similar in our language. So I don't know, but let's keep listening.
Hate, spread love.
Well, what say we?
No. That's all I'm saying. I am not retracting anything. That is, if you listen, if I've heard plenty of like desperate men when they cheat on their woman, be like, I have given you everything. Listen, that I have never heard a situation. By the way, you said I've never heard eating different. I have, but not in a good way. I'm not in a good way. It is still inappropriate. I don't know what you eat my tongue, or that is both weird. I have never heard somebody say eat my tongue. That is strange. And that didn't make it better. Because like I said, the only way in English that I understand that is you going a little bit crazier than normal. I'm just saying. So that didn't make it better. It's like, I've given you everything. Just imagine somebody tell you, I have given you everything. Now eat my tongue. That is strange.
It is. It's weird. Now, to be fair, right, I'd have to meet someone from this culture to explain whether or not this is even a real thing. I mean, listen, different cultures have weird stuff that, like, it doesn't make sense to us because we're from the outside. We weren't raised within it, you know? I figured they probably didn't make it up. I'm sure this is a thing that probably does exist on some level. But I feel like it's a stretch to even suggest that this is what was really happening. Even if, like, fine, we don't get it, right? We're never going to get it. This is weird. But eat my tongue, suck my tongue. The man's 87 years old. You don't think he would have practiced if this is like a common game and whatever? You don't think he would have known those words specifically because of the game? Like, this is some. I just feel like nah. It was convenient, but I don't think I'm sorry, man. I can't. I'm calling cap. I can't retract. Sorry, Dalai Lama. I don't know. Maybe you once were holy or whatever it is. Maybe you're just demented, right? Because, you know, people get old and senile and demented. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm calling cap on this story. I don't get it.
Listen, that's a game you play. I don't know. I don't think it's a game you play with children. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That is not a game you play with children.
Sorry. Yeah.
Let's go to some more adult content with some messiness, because she kept the ring. I don't know how y'all feel about this, because I am sitting on the fence. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm sitting on the fence on this. So fence sitting is back.
All right.
Men, have you ever just had a bad time? Just in a bad relationship, just everything goes wrong. And it seems like it's probably not your fault, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is the woman's fault. Sometimes people can just be bad people. I'm not saying women are just bad, or men are inherently good, or men are bad and women are inherently good. The world's just cold. And for this brother right here, he's learning exactly how cold the world is.
So I can't love you because I'm attracted to Josh.
She knows the name. She knows that. She said it. She gave him a name. She attracted to Josh. That means he has a personal relationship with this man. That means he knows him. Let's go.
I just saw Josh.
You just saw Josh.
And there is some chemistry.
So what was the talk about?
I got a question. I have a serious question about this. Is her and Josh together? Like, this is what I'm asking. Is she and Josh together? Because it sounds like I'm interested in Josh. You gonna fumble a man to get a man that you might not can get? That's crazy. What is Josh his friend? Let's go.
It was him basically confessing his feelings.
What are you saying to me right now?
I don't want to be with you anymore. And
You want to be with Josh?
I will find that out.
Okay, Jackie. That is...
She wants to be with Josh.
Very hurtful.
I'm just telling you, Marshall, that I just can't be with you. I can't.
I would like the ring back because...
Listen, by the way, let me be honest. That is fair, right? Yo, listen, if you didn't fall out of feelings, you want somebody else, let me know. That's all you gotta do. Just let me know. You know, all you have to do is say what you feel. Don't hide it from me. Don't do me dirty. Don't do me dirty. Just tell me how you feel, right? Why you playing all these games? Why you doing all that? Why you playing these games right now? Why you treating me like this? Why am I going invisible? Because you playing too many games right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm disappearing on this right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm disappearing to this action. These actions are insane. Let's continue on.
Because I don't think that you deserve it. Because you should never have accepted my proposal.
By the way, I did that whole invisible thing. It's probably a little too early. I'm still a little invisible. So forgive me. It was part of a skit because I did time this wrong. I did time this wrong. But shout out to Josh, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Josh. He out here pulling them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna keep the ring because.
Wait. Nah. You ain't keeping no ring. No. Ring means vows, and you broke them before we even got started. What do y'all think? Do y'all think she should be able to keep the ring after she declined me? She left me. She get to keep a ring? Is that crazy? It's a wedding ring?
I accepted it because I wanted to marry you. Everything I told you in that pod was real.
And you know what? I don't even care. You can keep the ring?
No, she cannot. How much you pay for it? You better be on. Ooh, she gotta pay the note though.
Every time you look at that thing, whatever you do with it, I want you to be reminded that you passed up on something great.
I don't know how I feel. I kind of like shout out to my brother for being confident. Like, yo, listen, keep them. Keep it, you know what I'm saying? Keep that ring. I'm gonna show you. Every time you look at it when you single and lonely because you're a dirty girl, you missed out on a great dude. So keep that ring. Or it's like, dude, get your money back, bro. You tripping. Give it to somebody. Why is you? What?
Okay. Marshall,
Listen, that's all I wanted to talk about. Listen. My mind is blown. I have never seen a bunch of people be like, listen, I'm keeping this ring and ain't nothing you can do about it. And then go and I don't know. My mind is blown. Let me know what y'all think. My mind is completely blown in this video. I don't know what anybody's doing. She just randomly cheats on a dude because she loves him. I don't know your thoughts. I want to literally know. Here's the 3 questions. I'm gonna give y'all 3 questions and then y'all can answer them in the chat. Is it fair to leave a man or a woman when you're out of love? Is it fair? Second question, do you get to keep the ring? Would you allow your partner to keep the ring, or would you want to keep the ring in these situations? And the third question I want to ask is, who do you feel sorry for in this situation? Do you feel sorry for Marshall? Do you feel sorry for Josh? Why would you feel sorry for Josh? Because Josh is he's in a dangerous space with a woman that I'm just gonna be. She not faithful. Who do you feel sorry for this situation? Let me know right now. Take it back over, guys. Ruben, who you feel sorry for?
Certainly not her. Actually, I never felt sorry for her. You know what? I would like to share her apology. Can we do this? I know it's totally impromptu, but I want to share her apology, okay? Before I give my complete response. Now, if anyone didn't know this about Ruby, I actually if you share my yeah, there you go. See, because this is her apology. So now, if you guys didn't know this about Love, I've been watching Love is Blind every season. I watched this season. I was sitting there angry. Y'all can go check my Twitter when they messed up the whole entire reunion. This was one of the things I was very interested to see what all was happening, and the fact that that chick didn't even show up to the reunion in and of itself, right? Who do I feel bad for? I feel bad for Marshall. Why? Because from jump, like she didn't even show up. Her and Josh didn't even show up to the reunion to let him speak his piece. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so this is what she did after the reunion instead. So this is her apology. She said, I would like to start this off by saying I sincerely apologize and take accountability for my actions and words in my relationship between Marshall and I. I also want to take the time to express my gratitude and appreciation for Marshall clearing up that I did in fact end the relationship before meeting Josh at the coffee shop. Because that's all she cared about. All she cared about whether we're talking about the reunion or we're talking about here or we're talking about every moment on the show that she was supposedly with Marshall was her damn self and the way that she appeared and da-da-da-da-da. That's all she ever cared about. Now, she says, to some, it may seem as if it was a quick transition. However, there is only a small percent that can be shown on TV, and my connection with Josh was much deeper than it seems from a viewer's perspective. I also would like to thank Marshall for taking accountability for the derogatory comment that was made off camera. I would also like to apologize. Look how long down this was before she gets to something that involves acknowledging someone else besides her and her vindication, because that's all she cares about. Okay. Anyway, so she would like to apologize and take accountability for her disparaging remarks as well as those leaked in messages. It was tasteless and disrespectful to speak about anyone that way. Not Marshall, apparently, just anyone, whatever. It was never a battle between Marshall and I just wanted to clear the timeline of the events that took place, as it looked as if I was a cheater and starting one relationship before leaving the other. I am thankful that Vanessa Lachey allowed me to speak my piece and take accountability for my actions. I still haven't, she said one whole line about her accountability. Like Marshall said at the reunion, we both deserve happiness, peace, and to be able to move on from what transpired last year, because he's a much better person than you and you don't deserve to move on or be happy. Marshall and I have personally apologized to each other and also took accountability for our actions and have moved on. I would also like to apologize and take accountability to the public as it was done on the show for everyone to see. Actions speak louder than words. Okay, that was her apology. So who do I feel sorry for? Marshall. Who's 100% in the wrong? Her. Who deserves to keep that ring? Marshall. Why does he deserve to keep the ring? Other than the fact that she's a piece of trash who doesn't deserve happiness or anything else. Other than that, it's because, as she said, like she even said it in this, right? But an engagement ring, right? A ring like this, you're giving it to someone and it's a promise for something, right? It's not just a normal gift. It's actually tied to a particular set of actions. So I gave you this engagement ring with an intention to marry you. You accepted it because you had the full intention to marry me. So if you don't follow through with the marriage, if you don't actually continue with that, if you never were quite sure, if you never could have committed, right?
then you have to give the ring back, because it's actually a gift that you give with a particular intention attached to it. So actually, no, she doesn't deserve the ring, because she never had any intentions of marrying this dude. You could see all of the drama and foolishness that this girl did all along the way. She never had any intentions. Therefore, no, she does not deserve that ring. She doesn't deserve anyone's pity. She doesn't deserve anything at all except for her to sit over there, okay, and stew in her own misery. Okay. And look, I didn't even hear, she didn't say the specific things she said about this man who just wanted to show her love and care and respect, right? And not manhandle her and whatever. So because he showed her all of that, then she wants to call him sweet and right? Sweet, like sugar in your tank. That's what she was doing to this decent dude, right? No, forget this girl. This girl deserves nothing, and he should sue her for that ring. And I swear to God, he'll win. Not just because I don't like her, but because at the end of the day, she's dead ass wrong. That's just it.
That is true. Listen, Marsha, you gotta get that ring back. You can't just be letting people keep bringing you. You setting man back. You're trying to get this devil. Don't be nice. Y'all gotta stop being nice. Listen, this how you got in this situation. You were too nice to her. She said you were sweet. That means she thought you soft. She said, oh, I'm keeping this ring. She didn't even ask, like, can I keep? She said, oh, I'm keeping this. I'm like, oh no, you disrespect me. No, that ring, you not. No.
Right?
No, don't you disrespect me, Renta. If you asked and you be like, but can I keep the ring? I'm like, this is stupid, but I don't care. I'm mad at you, but I don't want to talk to you. Leave it. But once you disrespect me and say, oh, I'm keeping this. Excuse me? What?
Right.
What?
Right.
Now, Jafris McCullum raised me to be soft. Where you just tell me what you ain't going to do and you like, after I paid for it. No. I'm just saying.
Thank you. Like, what do you want to keep it for? You want to keep it and your man wants you to keep it too? Like, that's the part I don't understand too. What, your man is okay with you keeping the ring? Like, isn't he a man? Because, like, the nice guy issue, Josh has got to work. Not Josh. Marshall has got to work on that, right? Because this is what women mean when they say there's such a thing as being too nice. Like, he said, well, I want the ring back. She said, I'm not giving no ring back. He said, okay, well, you can keep the ring then, right? Like, you're a doormat, right? Like, that's too nice. That's the too nice part, right? Like, you have to, there's a clarification there. But bro, no, just no. I despise that chick. I wish nothing but miserable things for her. And you know what, Josh, bruh, he's gonna marry that chick. He's gonna watch. And about 4 kids in, he's gonna realize the fatal error that he made. But by then it'll be too late. So
it's true. We got another story from Ruby herself. Let's get to it.
regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, I'm sure you have heard of Stop the Steal, right? We've all heard of it. January 6th is going to go down in world history as a marked event, right? Keep it a buck. But have you ever wondered to yourself, who deserves the credit for starting such a thing? Stop this steal. But more importantly, is there anybody who takes that credit? I mean, after so many political, figureheads and talking heads and whatnot, right? We're all about January 6th. Let's be real. We're talking about the far right here, and right political figureheads who then, as soon as January 6th turned into the shit show that it was, decided they wanted to immediately recuse themselves from any form of responsibility, to the point that they actually even wanted to blame it on the left. Okay. Well, I learned in the saddest way possible that there is, in fact, one man we can help attribute the Stop the Steal movement to. His name is Ali Alexander. Ali Alexander is also a self-hating gay man. Calls his gayness SSA. We'll talk about that later. But he's not in the news for his SSA. And he's not in the news necessarily for Stop the Steal. He's in the news because he's a predator. As you hear, Stop the Steal organizer, Ali Alexander, apologized for being a predator after he was caught asking teenage boys for sexual pictures. I find it absolutely amazing, by the way, that when we're talking about Jesse Lee Peterson or Ali Alexander, apologizing is what we do. Like, could this be serious? So Ali Alexander, he says, I apologize for any inappropriate messages sent over the years. Forgive me. He said in a statement posted to his Telegram channel, The Rolling Stone reported, referring to battling SSA, which is an acronym for same-sex attraction. He said that he had repented before God. He said that he had been careless in his flirtation, adding that I flexed my credentials or dropped corny pickup lines. Right? He added that nothing unlawful has occurred and that he's been targeted by fake accusers or literal honeypots eager to frame me. See, this is how easy it is to manipulate your demographic when they are already incredibly ignorant and they are already confabulating multiple things that are not actually associated with one another. Right? For example, whether you agree with or you like or you want to support same-sex attraction or not, this is same-sex attraction, say the LGBTQ community, right? Whether you want to support that or not, what it comes down to is those are adult human beings being attracted to other adult human beings who have developed after puberty, right? They've developed those characteristics that your brain are supposed to find sexually attractive. It's why we go through puberty, to develop secondary sex characteristics or these things that make us look attractive. So whether you are attracted to the opposite sex or the same sex or whatever, the point is that if the person is not an adult and the person does not have adult body, okay, then that is not same-sex attraction or opposite-sex attraction. That's not what that is. That's an illness, okay? And it's an illness because literally human beings did not evolve to find people pre-puberty or not through puberty attractive like that, right? We're not. And sickos like Ali over here, okay, he is utilizing the ignorancy and confusion of his demographic to be able to peddle the BS lie and message that that demographic wants to believe, which is this is just a sin caused by the devil. It's a choice. Whether you're talking about Fritos or you're talking about someone in the LGBTQ community, right? It's all the same thing. It's all the same amount of sin and vileness and da-da-da-da-da, right? There's no difference. It's the same thing. So because they've been peddling that smutty nonsense for so long, right? It's so easy for this dude to just take that conversation and then capitalize on it. And that's what he's doing. I mean, because I want you to think about it. What he's trying to say is that he was careless in a flirtation. Excuse you? Bruh. You looking for and then soliciting nude images from minors. That's not careless in a flirtation. That's not, oh, well, come on, if you can just get over the gay part of it. Come on, he's just a corny loser. He didn't really do anything wrong. It's just he flirted with the wrong one, and now people are trying to set him up. All right, who did we hear that from? Wait, was it Jesse Lee Peterson again? Anyways, his apology comes after Milo Yiannopoulos, a controversial British provocateur and one-time Alexander ally, released video interviews and other evidence to prove that Mr. Alexander had sexually propositioned adult men in their 20s and at least 2 teenagers, reported the Daily Beast. The reason I'm doing this, said Mr. Yiannopoulos, is because he used my name. Now, according to an account given by Aidan Duncan in a March 2023 podcast, Mr. Alexander had asked him for nude images. Mr. Duncan said that in 2017, when he was a 15-year-old boy in Colorado interested in right-wing politics, he had been asked to send the images to the activist. Mr. Duncan was then a high school sophomore, while Mr. Alexander was a 32-year-old who was willing to share his connections in Republican politics if the teen met certain secret conditions, the Daily Beast report said. Now, you'll have me sharing my entire network with you, Mr. Alexander told Mr. Duncan, according to Snapchat screenshots reviewed by the outlet. According to a September 4th, 2017 exchange about an upcoming trip Mr. Alexander was planning, the activist allegedly said to Mr. Duncan he would introduce the teenager to Mr. Yiannopoulos and speculated about whether the boy would be Alexander's arm candy and suggested he would have to be entertaining. Now, the report said that the other screenshots show Mr. Duncan sending a picture to Mr. Alexander. Remember, Mr. Duncan, the child. Now, it was redacted in the version of the screenshot that was reviewed by the Daily Beast, but certainly was not redacted in the original. In a statement on Twitter last Thursday, Mr. Duncan wrote, "When I was 15, I was naive and desperate. I thought I had no choice but to cooperate with inappropriate and humiliating requests if I wanted to make it in politics. I figured that was just the nature of the game." What do we hear that in as well? We hear it in the rap game, right? A bunch of these young dudes are coming out now and starting to share what really happened, what really is happening, and what they are basically told that they have no choice but to do, that everyone has to do if you want to get one step further inside of this game, right? So, and this is what these pervy predators do. Like, they manipulate the young people who honestly either don't know better or are incredibly naive, incredibly gullible, incredibly trusting, right? So they're very easy to manipulate. And they're also easy to manipulate into making snap decisions, into having to move now into secrecy before and after this kind of act. Why? Because you're basically threatening to ruin their entire lives before they've started their lives, oftentimes, right? So, poor kid. In the summer of 2019, Mr. Alexander allegedly asked then 17-year-old Lance Johnston to start sending him explicit images. "Show me your eggplant emoji," right? So you actually sent the eggplant emoji. So it says, "Show me your," Mr. Alexander wrote, according to the messages. Johnston said, "What's that?" And Mr. Alexander, well, he said, "OMG, D," only spelled out. So there could be no confusion. Okay. Now, Mr. Johnston said that he refused and quickly blocked him and took a screenshot of the exchange, but remained afraid of raising the issue. Of course, you heard this with the accusers to Jesse Lee Peterson. When the exchange was published, when the exchange was publicized by a friend of the teenager, and Mr. Alexander had defended himself on a video streaming app and said, "You can have any conversation you want with someone who's 17. No, sir. No, sir, you cannot have any conversation you want with someone who is underage. Now, to be clear, the age of consent varies from state to state, from country to country. That is absolutely correct. It does, right? Now, I don't know. Is Mr. Alexander in a state where the age of consent varies? He might be. But there's a difference between federal law and I was going to say provincial law because I'm in Canada, but the federal law, which covers the entire country, and then the state to state variations. And one thing that does not depend on what state you're in, right, is child pornography. Because while a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, right, might be able to consent to sexual acts with another person, whether it's their own age or, depending on the state, with a legal adult, right? What is never legal is child pornography, and it is always defined as nudity or sexually perverse nude type, pictures of someone under the age of 18. So yeah, no, if you're actually asking for nude images of someone under the age of 18, and or you are receiving those nude images and holding on to them, no, that is literally an actual felony. Like, that is actually a crime, bruh. So yeah, I guess, you thought you're like, ooh, age of consent, that's gonna protect me. No, you prevert, doesn't protect you at all. Sorry about it.
In this video clip, Ali Alexander allegedly is responding to claims made that there was a 17-year-old who had accused Ali of some sort of sexually explicit conversation with him over Periscope, something of that nature. Let's listen to Ali describe his understanding of the law, and then let's find out what the real law actually says.
Whatever conversation, any conversation. Hashtag no title. Okay, that's gonna be a thing. Hashtag no titles. We gotta work out cuddling into our title. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Illusion Scope.
Well, let's see what the age of consent laws say for the United States. And here's clearly what they say. Federal law prohibits the use of any means of communication such as telephone calls or use of the internet, persuade or entice a minor under 18. So the law says 18 federally, which applies to communications over the internet.
Yep.
18 when it's over the internet.
Yep.
Any sort of sexualized talk or sexualized conversation. Just so that Ali Alexander understands what the law is, it's 18, not 17.
Facts.
We're not making any accusations. However, at minimum, it looks like Ali Alexander, the man of over 30, at the very least, misunderstood the federal law as it applies to the appropriate age for any sort of sexualized communications.
Told you. Y'all, just for the record, though, can y'all stop using Wikipedia as a source, please? Like, Wikipedia literally is like a ride share, but for information, which means anybody could go in and update/edit any page at any time. So if we could just stop using Wikipedia as a source as though it's some immutable source, because there are some really great immutable information sources online. Can we please stop? I use Wikipedia as like a jump off point, okay? And then from that, once you've gotten your jump off information, then you can refer to, something a little bit more reliable and uneditable. In this case, he's right? But dude, Wikipedia, Oh, and so last year, right? If you want to go back to the Stop the Steal information for like a hot second, right? Because obviously, guys like this really are great at just accepting accountability for their actions. And so when he appeared before the House Select Committee during a closed door deposition, well, what did he say? Well, he said that it was right wing media figure and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk that was among those at fault for the riot. He also assured them that he was innocent of any and all wrongdoing. Really shocking. And I'm sure, even though he is the official and unofficial spearhead of Stop This Steal movement, I'm sure I'm sure that just like he was not lying in that committee thing when he was about to be held accountable, I'm sure he's also not lying now when he says he hasn't committed a crime. And it also lets you know that he could say what he wants to no 17-year-old, which suggests to me that he's had this conversation or worse with a lot of 17-year-olds. I'm just saying. Now, as you can see here, it says that rumors about Ali Alexander's alleged sexual behavior towards younger men has been circulated in conservative online circles since at least 2015. But they reached a new level late last month after Milo Yiannopoulos turned on Ali Alexander. Now, why did this happen? As in, why did Yiannopoulos turn on Alexander? Well, that's because Alexander and Nick Fuentes pushed him out of a potentially lucrative position in Kanye West's nascent presidential campaign. These people don't care about kids, okay? The right does not care about children. They do not care that this is some predator in the midst. They don't care, okay? The only reason why he's exposing this information that he's known all of this time, right, is because he feels angry, he feels salty, he feels spited because he got pushed out of this presidential campaign, and now they're going to get, the presidential campaign run without him, and he's, like, well, you know what? If I can't have it, no one can. That's it. So let's take a listen.
So it's really important in mind that the source of this from Milo Yiannopoulos, I do not trust. However, the formerly teenage boy question have come forward. I'm going to give you the details of what they have to say. Now, Milo started a video interview. Mentioned that Alex sexually propositioned both adult men, again, not a problem, in their 20s, and at least two is a problem and against the law. Now, he claims videos about Ali Alexander and Nick Fuentes coming days and weeks. Yiannopoulos releasing the videos because Ali Alexander again dropped his name in entice young men in this boy. So in 2017, for example, Aiden, 15-year-old boy in Colorado, in politics, sent Alexander photos after asked him for them, according to the account Duncan gave a March 2023 podcast appearance. Alexander was faced with heart eyes and also asked that Alexander should use to send him money. At that time, Duncan was a high school sophomore just starting out in politics, while Alexander was a 32-year-old. He said that he would share his connections with Duncan as long as the teenager met certain preconditions, including secrecy. In a September 4th, 2017 exchange, for instance, about an upcoming trip Alexander was planning.
Now, I want you to think about something, though, okay? Because I did mention this earlier, but I just wanted to get to this part of the video so we could just talk about this really quickly. So I want you to think about this for just a second. I want y'all to think about this, okay? Now, he said that he would introduce Duncan to Yiannopoulos. This was 2017. The boy gave the pictures, okay? I'm sure that the other side of this was met, right? Do you think Yiannopoulos had no idea? This reminds me very much of Jared. Remember Jared, the subway guy? Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because all of these people who are friends, when one of them comes out being like a total prevert, guess what happens? The rest of them soon follow because they're all preverts together. That's what bonds them so closely. And so I would not be, he's trying to sit there now and say, well, he has some honorable reason besides the Kanye thing, presidential thing. No, it has nothing to do with any type of honor, any type of whatever. They do not care about kids. They prove it every single day. This is strictly to try to throw some mud/dirt on them, maybe to push them out, give him his space back in, who knows. But what it's not for sure is new information to him. He knew. He always knew. And he didn't care. He didn't care until he could use the information against them, but he didn't care. Right? In fact, he's mad that he's not working with the two of them. He didn't care about kids. They don't care about kids. And like, just to be clear, y'all, I am going to release, I took out a bunch of detailed kind of little mini stories out of the video. I'm going to release those as shorts on the channel. So definitely, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe and click that bell, because along with releasing the short individual stories or news stories, which we do every week, we're going to start releasing shorts and everything. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but we also have a community tab already. Okay. And so we'll be releasing things on there as well. So it's a great time for you to get in early and click like and subscribe. Now, one of the things that I took out that definitely is going to be going into short had to do with, again, Nick Fuentes. For those of you who live in a cave under a rock on Mars, so you missed the whole Nick Fuentes Just Lonely Things connection, right? Where, you know, Just Lonely Things decided to first run her empire through the Black community despite being incredibly white, incredibly, right? And then after basically being voted queen of the Black manosphere, she decided to bring on an admittedly racist white supremacist onto her show, and then basically agree with him when he said things that were pretty racist, and then add her own racist things like, you know, hey, slavery wasn't so bad, we just blow it out of proportion so we can have legends, or whatever the hell she said. And so just to clarify, right, first of all, I want y'all to just listen to all those connections that we're told in this one place. Kanye West presidential candidacy, and you know, they run that stuff. I can't remember what that word's called. That word. Okay, fine. But who were running? Nick Fuentes and who? Nick Fuentes and who? Ali Alexander. So someone who has been known and heavily spoken about as being a prevert since 2015, and someone who is a known white supremacist, okay, racist. Those are the people that were tapped to work on Kanye's presidential campaign. Did anybody? I didn't miss that, right? And again, right? And then after that, Pearl went, yeah, Nick, come be on my show, man. Yo, so you can talk to all these Black people that support me and pay all my bills. Right? It's astounding. It's astounding where we're at. The fact that Kanye, bro, okay. And so now we have Ali Alexander, who, for the record, right, he's being exposed just because of jealousy. Just because of jealousy. And is still working on Kanye's campaign. Like, there's nothing changed, right? What do you think about all of this? So,
listen, I saw Milo go up there, look like he's in a drug-induced rage in some weird leather blue jean jacket, sniffing his armpits while arguing with Destiny. And he was like an hour late to a place they paid him to be there, and then complained about it. All these people are insane. It's a reason they are banned from the universe, and for some reason they are kind of back, even though some of them not. It's the reason all these people are actually banned. It's not just because the world is hating, the world is, they are insane. They are
Facts.
like Ruben said it. Early things had Nick Fuentes who was like, oh yeah, I'm a little racist. And then she got the nerve to be like, yeah, he's not racist. I'm like, he even admitted like, yeah, I'm a little racist. Like I've never heard a racist be like, I'm a little racist. He's joking.
Saying.
Listen, every joke there's a little bit of truth. It's not really funny. If you can't relate to the joke, it's not really funny. It's always like, oh, that person is this, or that person is this, or I'm doing that, or I did this. It's a little humor in it. So if you're saying a joke, it must be a little truth to it. All these people, all the Alexander, they all did. By the way, shout out to Kanye West for putting the Avengers of the strangest people on the internet. I didn't even know you could put this group together. Like, if you told me you could find, he went on Alex Jones with all of them, so it's just like the super Avengers. Like, let me go to find the craziest people on earth.
Dude, a white supremacist, right? And a black self-hating gay man who's also a predator who thinks you've done nothing wrong when you exchange child pornography online. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. That is who Kanye is running with, and Kanye thinks that he's the honorable one in this. Bro, like, I don't know what Kim did.
All I say is, listen, if you go in there and you try to, like, you can't even make this team up. And like if you like, who the craziest people I can find? Everybody's gonna pick one same person, not Kanye West. Not Kanye. I'm gonna pick the craziest human beings on earth. And I'm just gonna put him. One is like a drug-induced, like, gay man who renounced that he's gay, but he's still gay, and he's like trying to pretend he's not. Just a grift. Because he really don't know what else to do because he's broke. And you got Nick Fuentes, who was banned from everything. He's probably the smartest one in the group by a lot, but the problem is he's really racist.
Oh, that's not the only problem, though. See, I believe birds of a feather flock together, and
you got Sneeko.
Remember, yeah, Yiannopoulos said he's going to expose stuff about Nick as well. He's not just gunning for Allie. Now, these were all best friends. What do you want to bet Nick has equal skeletons? Because what else are you going to expose? You can't expose he's a racist. You can't expose that he's a white supremacist. You can't expose any of that. He already exposes it. He owns that stuff. So what do you think they're going to expose about Nick Fuentes? Exactly. I think he's also a predator.
He likes black women. That would be the craziest twist in history. Just have him like taking pictures with black women, like kissing on them, and you be like, I thought this dude was a virgin. He got a sex tape with a black woman would be the most insane Nick Fuentes story. My whole 23 and 23, I wouldn't even believe nothing no more. I'm like, these people don't even believe when they racist. It's a grift. Everything's a grift. The whole internet is a grift. I thought this one loser would actually hold on to his standards.
Well, to be fair, though, a lot of racist people will still sleep with and even procreate with the race that they're racist against. It doesn't mean that they're less racist, to be fair.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about his whole image is, I don't have sex at all. And I don't like black people. And we can't procreate with black people. I'm like, you just destroy all three of those things on one. That would be a crazy twist. I'm rooting for chaos in 2023, so I'm rooting for all kind of chaos. Please.
I still feel like, though, like, you know, when you think about like buck breaking and whatever, I feel like it's just a throwback to the bad old times because they used to do that anyway. So,
but he loses his whole thing. He's the king of the incels because he never had sex. Like the king of the
incels. Did he say he never had sex?
That what he said?
Said that?
Yeah.
Really?
The king of incels, ain't he? Unless Kanye got him. That was before the Kanye thing. Now I saw this when he was on there.
Okay. I didn't know. So maybe
the king of the incels out here wild, and that's why he angry. That's why
probably
he part of that group that man was talking about in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, incels dangerous, by the way. All this, everything we talk about, literally go back to like crazy, powerful old people and young incels. Everything goes to both of them. Always. Powerful old people who want to use their power to do crazy things, and young incels who just like got pent up frustration with the world and hate everybody.
Facts.
The world is dangerous. We got an old white man listening to Fox News out there trying to shoot people. Speaking of the end of the world, Ruben, we got two stories. We're gonna play them back to back. Matter of fact, we have two stories about ending the world. Maybe they can actually save us. Maybe in iRobot they were right, Ruby. Maybe they were right in iRobot. So let's go over this real quick. Let's go. Listen, we got some NBC News here. We got the outbreak is coming. It has started. Will Smith was right. Him and the dog, they survived this, but are we gonna survive this? Are you prepared for what's happening? You rappers, you might be done. Viral AI-powered Drake and the Weeknd song is removed from streaming service. The track sparked legal and ethical questions. Let's go see what they're talking about. AI voice rap song replicating the voices of the artist Drake and the Weeknd that went viral on Sunday have been taken down by streaming service as of Tuesday. The song Heart on My Sleeve was created by an anonymous musician who goes by Ghostwriter. Heart on My Sleeve features vocals that sound like Drake and the Weeknd, as well as Metro Boomin's signature producer tag. Clips of the song went viral on social media, with one Twitter upload of the song garnering 6.9 million views. In the now deleted TikTok, Ghostwriter explained that the AI was used to create the song, but did not disclose what program was used in the comment under the video. Ghostwriter said they wrote the song, they then replaced their voice with Drake. Typically, a person can make an AI song like this by writing and recording the track, then use an AI model to replace their vocals with a popular artist's vocals. I was a ghostwriter for years. I got paid close to nothing just for major labels to profit. The future is here, the artist wrote in another TikTok. Ghostwriter did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Neither the representatives of the Weeknd or Metro Boomin. A representative of Drake did not comment on the matter. Listeners were impressed by the AI's ability to capture Drake and the Weeknd's voice accurately. However, the production and existence of the song, this is scary. LOL. Song is actually good, one person tweeted. His lyric and song structure was trash, but impressive AI model, another tweet. I think it's a new wave of AI music is cool, but I don't think we should be able to distribute these on major platforms for profit, one person said in a TikTok comment. And the rest of these are just tweets. Of course, UMG's telling everybody to get out the paint. But if you listen to the song, they're pretty decent. Now, writing, and as this tweet said, the writing and structure was not the greatest. Probably need a real artist to get in there, so if you can find a good producer to make the structure, you can probably do it. But you rappers are done. We can just copy your voice. Wait, when will we get a Tupac or Biggie AI? Because they rap better than all y'all. If we get a good writer and producer with that, and then add to make a Biggie AI soon. So it's over with for the rappers, you know what I mean? It is over with. Yeah, I didn't click the button because that video ended a little earlier than I thought, because again, we have an issue. Some of these videos are working, some of them not. That's just the connection because we're doing it through online, and that's Google Drive problem, not mine. So Google Drive is being mad at me right now, probably because I got 10 videos up. But Ruby, how do you feel about the AI music?
I think the thing is that they have been doing something very similar for decades, really. I mean, if you think about it, what do you think auto-tune is? It's AI music, right? It's taking people who are damn near tone deaf, and all they got to do is sing into this magical mic that has auto-tune programmed in, and hey, what comes out to the listener sounds like actual singing. Right. So they've been already to some extent using artificial intelligence with music for a good long time. And the fact that they have been using that same artificial intelligence, and I talk about it in the next story as well, so I won't go too far into it, but we were doing the thing like where they have Obama and Trump and whatever sitting around a table having a conversation, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Playing
You have
Fortnite.
chat, yeah, right? Or you have chat GPT sitting around and writing your grad thesis or essays or whatever, right? So I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, we've already been utilizing AI like this. I understand why the artists are frustrated or upset, right? Because it's one thing to have to compete with an AI artist, right? Because there are a couple AI artists, rappers / singers who they don't actually exist as people, right? They're AI characters. But there was still a human element to them. And, it wasn't like, hey, I really think the song would go well with Drake. So I'm just going to take Drake's voice and I'm just going to put it on my song. And then I'm going to be able to make a deep fake about Drake. And then, hey, basically I produced a Drake album, right? Like, I mean, like that's what they're going to be able to do now. And I do think that that's slightly different. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? This is the issue with technology. And this is exactly what my story talks about as well is for all of the wonders and the advancement with this technology, the good, for as good as it can be, it also becomes as bad. And then what do we do? What do we do to combat that? I can't imagine a world that we can actually legitimately combat this. Nor do I think anyone's going to let us. And when I say anyone, I mean people like, for example, Suge Knight, Puff Daddy, people who own other people's legacies, and those other people have passed away, right? Because now they can sit there and be like, oh, I own I own the Notorious B.I.G.'s legacy. I own Tupac's legacy. So I can get his voice and his image, right? They already sent Tupac on tour as a hologram, right? So I can take his image and I can take his voice and I can create whole new albums, right? Same thing with Biggie. I can create whole new albums. And if people don't like it, when I admit that's what I did, I can lie and say, oh, look, we found some stuff that he recorded 35, 40 years ago. My God. Right. So, I mean, they're not going to allow us to shut this down. They're not, because the bigwigs, they're going to profit too much. So the people who get screwed are just going to get screwed. That's what I think.
Listen, learn a skill, because that's going to be the last thing they care about. Let's watch this other video. Speaking of, Ruby's mentioned the other video.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, the issue with technology and advancements in general, right, is that everything that can improve or better our lives can also severely hurt / hinder our lives, right? AI has been amazing as far as helping people out in a variety of ways, but we're also seeing that along with, oh gosh, I mean, do we even want to talk about the whole deepfakes from Prawn, right? That were affecting people like Pokimane and whatever, and what's his face getting caught looking at deepfakes of his friend's girl, right? I mean, it's kind of incredible that they can make realistic, deep fakes of like Prawn, or deep fakes of artists in music videos when they were never in the music video, because you can change the artist into whoever you want to change them into, appearance wise and whatever, right? You can create the voices, right? It's crazy to listen to some of these deep fake conversations where they'll have like Trump and Obama and whatever sitting around a table. It's amazing. Technology is amazing. But along with that amazing comes some really problematic stuff sometimes. And what do? Right? Because once it becomes more accessible to the generalized public, once people figure out how to use it of their own accord, the problem then becomes, how do you keep people from abusing it or from using it for sinister reasons? So as you can see here, it says an Arizona mom says her daughter's voice was cloned with an AI app, and a $1 million kidnapping hoax. Can you imagine? Jennifer DiStefano answered a call from an unknown number and heard her daughter's voice on the other end stating that she had been kidnapped. It later turned out to be a scam. Whew. Imagine.
This mom got the scariest phone call of her life. On the other end, she hears her daughter crying.
She's like, Mom, I messed up, as she's crying and sobbing.
Then a man gets on the line and claims he's kidnapped her 15-year-old daughter, Bree.
He's like, listen here, I've got your daughter. You're not going to call anybody. You're not going to call the cops. And I just put the phone on mute and started screaming for help.
A mom in Arizona is sending a warning after her daughter's voice was cloned in a $1 million kidnapping scam. Jennifer DiStefano's 15-year-old daughter, Brianna, was on a ski vacation when DiStefano got a call from an unknown number. The mother told Good Morning America. The only reason she answered was because she thought something could have happened to her daughter, Brianna. This is a big, remember guys, before there was a big issue where Facebook was relatively new and people weren't thinking, so they were just telling people their whole life story on Facebook, including when they were leaving for vacation, how long they'd be gone, so on and so forth. So then it told robbers, oh, okay, so that house over there is going to be empty for 2 weeks, so we could rob them blind and no one will know, right? It's kind of the same thing. When your kids, let's be real, kids are still idiots. They're, publicizing their crimes on Facebook Live still, right? So they prove they're still idiots. But, kids will sit there and tell the world everything still, right? So unfortunately, there's no way that they as kids are going to be able to foresee enough things. But even us as adults who have been, alive on this planet for decades and decades, or, grew up with technology or whatever, the new ways in which we can be scammed, that information that we put online can hurt us. It's not always easy to foresee when something new is going to be invented and what it's going to be, right? And so, unfortunately, I'm sure she was super hyped up. The daughter, right? 15-year-old Brianna was super hyped up, told everybody. Maybe it was just well-known, hyped up everyone in the class is talking about it, right? Because, you're on this ski vacation. And so that gave these scammers the perfect opportunity to know, well, if you're tracking those kids on, their Instagram or whatever, to know when they're going to be on the hills, when they're going to be out of reception, so on and so forth, right? And when the vacation is and blah, 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 and their number, well, boom, now all you got to do is call mama when mama can't get a hold of the daughters because they're going to be on the hills all day, and then boom. There you go. You give them a time limit or something like that, and boom, there's $1 million. Crazy. All right, let's take a look now. So what she heard after picking up, right? She heard her daughter's voice crying and sobbing, saying, Mom. And she was like, okay, so what happened? She's like, Mom, these bad men have me. Help me, help me. She said then that a man got on the phone and told her, put your head back and lie down, which terrified DiStefano. This man got on the phone and he's like, listen here, I've got your daughter. This is how it's going to go down. You call the police, you call anybody, I'm going to pop her so full of drugs, I'm going to have my way with her, and I'm going to drop her off in Mexico. This must be a kid, because this is like the stupidest story ever. No, not like the AI thing, but that's all he could come up with. I'm gonna put her full of drugs and drop her off in Mexico. That's the threat. That sounds like another 15-year-old, real talk, who's a little salty, because he didn't get to go on the trip too. I don't know. Anyway, and remember, he could have made his voice sound like just about anything. So, and at that moment, DiStefano just started shaking. In the background, she's going, her daughter is going, help me, Mom, help me, please help me, and bawling. The voice on the phone demanded $1 million before lowering it to $50,000 after DiStefano, who was at a dance studio with another daughter, told him she didn't have it, per NBC 15. She had the mysterious man keep talking while one mom at the studio called the police and another got DiStefano's husband on the phone. They were able to make sure that Brianna was safe in less than 5 minutes. Oh, they're lucky in this case. Super lucky. I'm not going to lie, because I'm pretty sure it was a 15-year-old, right? But you think about an hour or so? I honestly, like, if you think about it, right? If there's just an older person with a little bit more planning, I'm gonna stop talking because I feel like I'm gonna be able to be like a charged if someone uses. But I'm just saying, right? Like it wouldn't have taken. It would just take the tiniest bit more of foresight, knowledge, and planning. And in this case, it's clearly a 15-year-old. It was clearly a kid. Like when you heard the pumped up full of drugs and stuff, it was clearly a kid. Okay, so they're dumb, right? But dude, if you could not get a hold of that kid, right? Because let's say she didn't have her cell phone on her because batteries died, because they're not allowed to take their cell phones out with them on the actual hills, whatever it is, right? And the person calling and doing this scam has the knowledge they're not going to have their phones for 8 hours today or something like that, right? That's all you would really need, you know, for $1 million or for $100,000 or whatever, right? Like, dude, you put some time limits on that this could be really, really dangerous. She hung up the phone and told NBC 15 that she truly believed it was her daughter on the phone instead of an artificial intelligence AI platform. It was completely her voice. It was her inflection. It was the way she would have cried, said DiStefano. I never doubted for 1 second it was her. That's the freaky part that really got me to my core. Brianna told Good Morning America, I started to wonder, like, if these people were asking to track my mom and pick her up, they could have obviously been putting some information together to try and track me or some of my siblings to actually make this a reality. So it's definitely scared me. And this is what I was saying, right? You have to really break it down for teenagers to keep them from being idiots because they just share everything online. They really do. Now, the founder of Way, which educates youth on technology, per its websites, told GMA that getting someone's voice is easier than most might think. Most people in the modern age have some form of an online identity and have probably spoken in some way, in some aspect that's been recorded, especially if you're under the age of 25, Sinead Bovell said. So this becomes very, very challenging as we move into a future where we do have these AI generators or synthetic audio when it comes to verification and validation. He added, there's a lot of positive and exciting aspects about these technologies, but then of course, they also come with a lot of risks and harms. Experts advise social media users to have private pages and watch out for unknown numbers in an effort to prevent situations like DiStefano and Brianna's. Now, you've got to keep that stuff locked down. This is why, right? The problem is if you have it public, you're allowing yourself to be scammed by people like this because they're going to be looking for public profiles that have as much information as possible on you. And when they get a hold of that, they're going to dig into you. Dan Mayo, Assistant Special Agent for FBI's Phoenix office, told NBC 15, this is especially critical for America because guess what, y'all? America stalks y'all like it's scary. We don't have that much information. Like, if you take any random Canadian, myself included, I could give you all my information. If you try to Google me, I'm not coming up, right? But if I find out your name, your first and last name, your age, I don't know, age is just to confirm which one of the ones that I found online is you, right? Like, you could Google anybody in America. It's crazy. And the amount of information you can get from just having someone's first and last name is astounding. It's astounding. So remember that it's relatively easy. The more information you're giving away, right, the more of your biological markers you give away. Like your voice, like the way you sound when you're angry or confused or say hello or whatever. Yeah, makes a difference. It's crazy.
I didn't for a second doubt her voice.
AI expert Hani Farid showed me how it's done. The Berkeley professor says he can take just a few examples of my real voice and manipulate it to say something I never said.
I went over to YouTube and I searched for your name and I found an interview that you gave. It took me all of 5 seconds to do that. I uploaded that to a web service that I pay $5 a month for. In about 30 seconds, it cloned your voice. I typed what I wanted you to say and it handed me an audio file back. That whole thing took me under 5 minutes to do.
So I have the recording that you made. I'm going to play it right now.
It's Allison. This is going to be hard to believe, but I've been kidnapped. They want $1 million ransom. Otherwise, they say they'll hurt me. I don't know what's going to happen. They want me to hang up now. I've got to go. I love you.
That's pretty creepy.
Still gives me goosebumps because her voice was so real.
Bree has no idea how the scammers got a sample of her voice that they used to create the phony kidnapping script.
Just think of the movies. Slow it down, slow the person down. Ask a bunch of questions. If this ever happens to you, okay, where you get a call from someone who's saying, hey, I've kidnapped your loved one, right? If they have someone of interest to you, you're going to know a lot of details about them that this scam artist isn't going to know. You start asking questions about who it is and different details of their background that are not publicly available. You're going to find out real quick if it's a scam artist. Now that is a good way to kind of like, check, but remember that not everyone's going to be a 15-year-old. Not everyone is going to be stupid enough to sit around for an hour in conversation. So that's not always going to work out. Now, as always, okay, shout out and thank you so much to Char Willie, because honestly, Char has always brought us the scam. She's always brought us the recall. She has always brought us this stuff. And even though she's not doing content on her channel, she is still providing us over here through Ruby and I'll Be That Media, okay? Or Be That News Network. She is still providing us with this amazing information, and to know that this is already, I'm just hearing about the voice activated, Drake song. I just heard about, deep fakes in music videos like not that long ago. Already the scam artists are using this. This is crazy. So shout out to Char. Thank you very much again for this story. Y'all, I hope y'all learned something. Put it into practice. Talk to the youngins that you love. Talk to the oldins that you love. Talk to the peer level that you love. Okay? We got to protect each other so that we can safeguard against this type of scam, not going wild and robbing people blind left, right, and center before we get a handle on it.
Listen, it is, do not put me on no deep fakes. I do not consent. I am a man of consent, and I do not consent to these actions at all. Even though, unless I can win a lawsuit. If I win,
You cannot.
If I win a lawsuit and like a big company do it, and then I get $1 million, you can do it, but I don't consent to it. No consent at all.
No, you can't, because as long as someone's not trying to profit, right? So like you can win if someone's trying to profit, but like just changing someone's voice, right? That's why, again, you can change. They have all those things with like Trump and everyone sitting around shooting, and being like, oh, hey, let's play these games. Like everything, like they have them playing magic. Like it's just ridiculous. But that's why, because they've decided there are rules for AI and what's acceptable and what's not, right? And yeah, someone is literally allowed to deepfake you. As crazy as that is, when you think about the fact, right, that Atrioc guy, right, I posted that at the beginning of the video, was able to go onto some random website. Now he says the material was already there. It may or may not have been, because either way, whether it's already there or it's not, you can go to any one of those things where you can find deep fakes, and you can give them anyone's images and say, I want deep fake prawn of this person, and they'll make it. No problem. It's like $20, $20 to $50, something like that, right? Just like the dude, okay, he cheaped out $5, right? And it was like less than 5 minutes. And it was pretty stiff. It was lacking emotion, so on and so forth. But it had her tone of voice for $5 in 5 minutes. Imagine what you'd be able to accomplish if you took an hour. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of insane. So I don't know. I honestly don't even think the law is not great at keeping up with technology. I don't think that we have enough law to really deal with this at this point, and like what should be legal, what you should be able to sue over, what we should be able to prevent, who we should be able to hold accountable, and why. I don't think we've caught up with it, honestly. I don't know.
True. Listen, it's scary. She's mentioned HR. Just imagine how nasty you gotta be when your best friend girl is like on that page that you were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Cutie Cinderella. His best friend is Ludwig, and then she's on that page. As soon as you see that, you should be like, "No, this is wrong." My man said, "No,
no,
we keep going." Listen, this world is sick. Listen, if you looking at your best friend, I don't even think they're friends anymore. I don't know how you can be friends. Like, yo, bro, my girl don't. She in the right. She don't like you, so you can't hang out.
Bruh, he was so caught. See, he's a bad liar, and he was so caught. And I don't understand how because me, if it was me, again, see, Ruby keeps exposing all these things. It makes me look like I'm a bad person. I swear to God, I'm not. But if it was me, I would have been like, yo, I saw this ad pop up, and I went, yo, isn't that my friend's girl? And I clicked on it, and I swear to God, it was saying it was her. So I'm like, no, there's no way. So I paid the money. I'm thinking it's got to be a scam.
Yeah,
and then when I saw it wasn't her, I paused it right away, and I had no choice but to go live right away. Like I had no choice, right? Because I had my stream scheduled. So immediately after the stream, I was gonna go and inform everyone to let them know, right? I wanted to make sure I confirmed that it's real though first. Right? That's what I would have said. He didn't even say all of that. He just sat there next to his wife sitting there crying and just admitting it. He's like, I don't know. My brain just got curious. And then I was like, well, I got more curiouser. And then I got my lotion. Like he didn't even, bro.
He had the
because I would have been lying.
He had the napkins right beside him. Shout out for the napkins. You know what I'm saying? He grabbed her and wiped his tears away. I'm like, I know. I see what you do. Bro, why are you using it on the main computer? What is wrong with you?
Right? What? How anyone saw that, bro? You've never heard of a bookmark? Like, I don't understand. Like, he failed on every possible level. And his wife, I don't understand her because I wouldn't have left him for watching prawn of our friend or whatever. I would have left him for being stupid enough to just that whole scenario. How did you get caught? How did you not come up with a much better lie before I could have coached you through it? You know what I mean? Now you embarrassed all of us because you're an idiot. You know what I mean? She should have left for that. Sorry.
You should have left him for making me look. Don't bring me on screen.
Facts. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen, speaking of women, when you get depressed, how crazy do you get, Ruby?
I don't know. I don't really actually get crazy, but I mean that's not really. I don't think you mean depressed. Like I have clinical depression, like major depressive disorders. So
yeah, I don't mean real. I'm just talking about the way people use it. If you feeling a little sad, how crazy you get? Because I have someone here.
Okay.
By the way, I did not use the video they use because they like to copyright. So I am very aware of these people. They had some red pillars, and red pillars like having the strangest women around. They would never find a normal woman. They go find the most elite woman to fit narrative they have ever found in life. Like anything that agree with them, they will find that woman, and she will come on stream and admit it and be like, "See, women."
True.
And this woman is one of them. So let's go look at it.
Oh boy.
Listen, have you ever just been down bad? You just get depressed, get all sad, and you're not yourself. You just don't feel good. I got an app for you. The app is called Tinder. And if you go on Tinder, you can find everything you ever wanted to make you drown out your pain. You know what I'm saying? You can find a woman or man, whatever you were into, and you can drink some liquor and have a good time and forget all about your past. Tinder. Get the app. Google Store, Apple Store, Spotify, Apple Music, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, all that on Tinder. Of course, I'm telling you that because woman says she's banned off Tinder after sleeping with 6 different men per night for a week straight. This is strong in the streets. This is amazing in the streets. This is powerful in the streets. The streets don't have nothing on this. This woman said she don't like condoms, so it was raw. She's getting raw 6 times every night by 6 different men, not the same 6 different men every night. And she even had the nerve to tell you that if one didn't show up, she had a backup. She had somebody off the bench. She had her Mo Williams. She had her J.R. Smith. She had her 6th man of the year ready to come off the bench and get in the game. Because he couldn't show up. He was busy with work. He had his girlfriend, whatever. All because she was depressed. This is an interesting way to handle depression. Maybe it works. Y'all tell me in the comments. Maybe this works. Maybe what you see here works. For the first time I ever looked at this podcast and saw something, I actually saw other women look disgusted at this woman. Because despite what you feel, these things is not normal. This is not what happens. This is not just something that easily portrayed. This is strange. This is not normal behavior. I'm assuming she went through a breakup and something depressive happened and she's like, I'm gonna get that get back. Ladies, getting that get back don't mean you go on a podcast and tell everybody, because if I see her in the streets, I'm like, she for the streets. Now, if I'm looking for the streets that day, I might find her. But then when I think in my head that she said they all went raw, I'm like, no, them streets are nasty. Them New York streets. Them ain't them clean Tokyo streets. Them ain't them clean Tokyo streets. Them New York streets. Them streets got rats and all kind of things. Not saying she's a dirty girl, but she's a dirty girl. Not saying she's a dirty girl. She's a dirty girl. But as the comments you see say, we need to build more streets. She's spreading something vicious. Man, protect yourself. You can't blame yourself if you still be like these women. In this case, it is this one, but she's telling you. It's a fair game. She's telling you what happens. In these streets, she is saying, I'm for the streets. The depressive state I did, I went crazy. I was putting up game 7 Jordan numbers. Kyrie and LeBron, I was doing my thing. And I'm telling you, it was televised. The event will be televised. Disaster will be on TV. It's on there. I'm telling you right now. Now you know when you see it, you know danger. Some of you don't care. Some of you nasty. I get it. Some of you are disgusting. Some of you are downright. You like being in them New York streets. You're a gangster in them New York streets. I feel you, blood of Crip. But I'm just letting you know right now, you're dangerous. If you can handle it, you can handle it. Ruby, me, tell me what y'all think. Let's talk about it. Maybe I'll make this a hey done. Karen for the streets.
I do like how you referred to yourself like as though you were a third person. I thought that was excellent. So good job. But yeah, no, here's the thing, right? Now, a lot of people did not listen to, they listened to only a very short clip, or they listened really to the commentary of, oh my God, look at this massive number she put out there and what she said, right? But no one listened to anything around that, right? So she actually admitted, she said, first of all, that she was there only sharing this information in the hopes that it might help somebody. The second thing she said is that she went to rehab, right? So now I'm not sure people know this. Sex addiction is a very real thing. Sex hits the exact same addiction and pleasure centers as drugs, as alcohol, as other things that we know, gambling, other things we know people get addicted to, food. And so in the same way that you can be addicted to alcohol or drugs or gambling or food or anything, you can also be addicted to sex. And so when you think about it from that perspective, then, right, if you're depressed, things are going really bad and you have an addiction, that is when you are going to engage in your addiction more so, right? Because you are suffering from a lack of dopamine and a lack of serotonin because you're feeling really low. Nothing feels good. Nothing feels like it's fulfilling. And so you are going to go out and search and cling to things that can either distract you from that emptiness or from that pain, right? Emotional, mental, psychological pain,
Or what you're going to do is you are going to engage in something that basically can override your anhedonia. Okay. Anhedonia means a lack of feeling good things, basically. So, sex can be it's a very guttural, animalistic thing that, is talking from your animal brain, right? So some people can really connect to that no matter how they're feeling otherwise, no matter what else is going on in life, they can still get some type of at least physical release, right? Or, and this is a sad but also true thing, is that when some people are depressed, depending on what it's about or things they've gone through, they want to have sex or sexual things or whatever because it's a way of almost punishing themselves. Like they want to be treated like trash. They want to be treated as disposable. They want to be used and discarded by as many people as possible, because it's almost like when a guy, say feels like he really messed up in life, he goes to a bar, gets really drunk, and then starts picking fights with people who are bigger and stronger than him in the hopes that he gets punched in the face. It's kind of the same thing. Right. And so we see this in a variety of different ways with humans. And the fact that she was willing to share this, I think, was really powerful. And it was just totally shamed and denigrated by men. So, but I think that
basketball jokes
realistically,
out. That's all I want. I ain't never got a chance to put basketball jokes here, so I had to. By the way, watch the whole show too. I do agree with it. Watch the whole thing. It's amazing. She did do it.
yeah, right. And so I think that she's actually going to help people, because I think especially in this casual sex culture, that kind of message was really needed, especially for the young girls, young women, and some young men as well, who literally are engaging in exactly the same thing and just pretending like they're just playing it off, right? Like, yo, my body notches, oh, I'm a G, oh, I can. But no, it's really about hating themselves or being depressed or trying to fill a void. So I'm just saying.
Listen, shout out to her. Live life. You're getting better. Everything. We all try to grow, get over things that we go through and all that stuff. Tiger Woods went through it, and he had to go through the only one, which is in the state of Mississippi. By the way, most of them jokes were from like certain things. For instance, the guy from Robin Big, Uncle Jerry, literally lives up the road. So that was very interesting. So I had to get She a Dirty Girl off. I don't know if anybody watched Robin Big from MTV. That guy literally works at the local shortstop, and he's like, "Is she a dirty girl?" So that's where I got that from. So all of it was just jokes. But shout out to her.
All right. Well, y'all, you didn't think I would go through an entire show and not specifically do a Karen, did you? Come on. What do you think I am? Yeah. All right. So let's not play any of these silly games anymore. We doing a Karen now.
They're calling me Karen because I made them nervous. Fine, call me that I'm Karen, because I'd like to speak to the manager. I'd like to speak to the manager.
Okay, now some of y'all might have seen this Karen ever before in life. Not on our show as of yet, but certainly you might have seen it. This is an oldie but a goodie. Okay. Now as a result, that means we have a little bit of information as to what happened. Now, specifically, what's wonderful about this Karen is, remember, like last week and the week before as well, when we were talking about like I wish a Keisha would, right? And I said, well, that really stems from Dr. Rashad Ritchie saying, I wish a Karen would, right? And I like when Karens get their comeuppance. I'm not gonna lie, I like it a lot. Right. And so Charles Marshall, well, he decided that he needed to give this Karen exactly what she deserves. And so you can see here, right now, this is yesterday at 3:04 a.m., but this was like a couple of years ago. But it was yesterday, a couple of years ago, 3:04 a.m. So I'm riding in Alameda, going to get me some food to eat. And this racist ass old white woman yelled at me and said, go back to Oakland. So I let it go and kept going. But the place I was going to eat was closed today. So I'm riding back, and the same lady I ride by the first time gave me the finger. After that, I'm like, F this. I don't give an F. I'm not taking this kind of ish from nobody. Stop letting these people feel comfortable doing this kind of ish. Right? And this is why I like, and I think why we all feel so good when someone says, I wish a Karen would, and the Karen does, and the Karen gets the come up and she deserves. Right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hold on. What I got here for you? What I got here? Oh, that's right. Shout out to Vonda. Ms. Vonda, thank you very much for this lovely Karen moment. Okay. You know how to watch it multiple times and just really absorb it in. It never really gets old. Okay. Now, for those of you who got children in your vicinity, please remove them or put in earphones. Okay. For those of y'all who don't like cussing, I apologize. You might want to turn your ears off for the next few minutes. For those of y'all who are okay with all of the above, let's keep going. And God bless Vonda. Okay, let's go.
I got you on recording. You told me to go back. You told me to go back to Oakland, right? Let me tell you, dusty, dirty, Dominican built ass up. You don't tell me what. When you leave your house, you old ass lady. You are in the world. So you don't tell me to go.
Y'all see how these Karens rock, right? Now, first of all, you giving people that you don't know, that you didn't speak to, whatever, the finger as they walk by, yelling this and that, but they need to go to Oakland. But you made sure, in case the man didn't hear you, you had a whole gesture for him. So now that he has time, right, to come back and address the issue, now you want to tell people about language? Really, Karen? Really, Karen? Okay.
Go back to Oakland. You take your great pussy ass to Oakland. Get your funky ass up. You got a whole 19 fit on. You the one these shit is here. You got hella senior fit on your motherfucker. Tell somebody to go to Oakland. Huh? You need to control your ass because you need to go get in the wheelchair. Get your funky ass up. Somebody back to Oakland. You're an out.
Now hold on. Okay, I'm good. I listen. I don't know how many times I listened to this exact moment to confirm that this woman really tried to say she 80 years old. Really, Karen? What did you think was gonna? First of all, what did you think? So you thought if you just pretended you were super duper old, then maybe he'll let you live? I don't mean like in a literal way. I mean like he's going to stop reading you for filth, right? She must have, because if you look at her face, you can't see anything but like right here, but you can see based on right here that she ain't no 80 years old. A. B. She's in a cat burglar suit, right? And she's got a Chicago Bulls hat over it. There's nothing about this woman that is 80 years old. She's standing like she might be at most in her 40s. Like, girl, please. Right? And with that palm colored skin, we all know they crack. Okay, they're not black, they crack. And so we know she's not 80, but she's trying to say she's 80 to try to get herself out of trouble. Guess what? Mr. Marshall had time for it today. Okay, when the Marshall from Love Is Blind, he just let it rock. You can just take the ring, it's fine. You tell me what it is, right? This Marshall ain't got time for that. Let's keep going.
Yeah, something years old. Your age don't matter. It seems like you're racist because you see me run by and you tell a black person to go back to Oakland. So black people know. Ain't no black people in Alameda. All right, okay, dusty bag trash out of here. Don't tell no black person to go back. You can't tell me where to go. I'm fucking. I'd like to speak to the manager. I'd like to speak to the manager.
Never gets old. I think it's probably like the 10th time I've watched this particular Karen, and I still have not gotten sick of her. Well, not really her so much as Mr. Marshall, who is just, I mean, kudos to this man. Kudos to this man. We should give him an award. I don't know what kind of award, but he needs one. What do you think, sir?
Listen, my man said it's over with. I'm tired of you. You harassing me. get out of here, telling me to go back to Oakland. I don't even know what that meant. I like that you saying that where black people belong or something. I don't understand. Shout out to Golden State Warriors. And she just, hey, yo, Karen don't be expecting it too. That's the most crazy thing. Karen don't be expecting none of it. When you come back at them crazy, they be looking so confused. What did I do wrong?
Right? How dare you? Right? Language, young man. Excuse you? You found a whole gesture for me. Trust me, I got all kinds of words for you. Listen, because he let her live the first time, right? Listen, you want to tell people go back to Oakland. Like, at least she didn't say Africa. I mean, really. But I mean, it's not that much better, right? But like, dude, he let you live. If you had just not said anything, if you just leave the man alone, you already said your ignorant piece, right? But no, you couldn't just let him pass by. He's already frustrated. Poor man went to go get some food. I hate when that happens. When you go somewhere to, like that restaurant or whatever is not open on that day. So you're already mad and you hangry. And this one wants to give you a gesture. Man, and she's walking around like a little black condom. Like, I don't understand her outfit. What was she wearing? I just everything about this was just wow. It was just wow. Like, Karen, Mr. Marshall, just kudos to you, bruh. That was me dapping you up. I don't know.
Shout out to Mr. Marshall. He's out here wilding. But he's in the right. Listen, sometimes you gotta act up. Everybody like, you gotta be professional now. Sometimes I worked at Family Dollars like years back, a long time ago when I was younger as a assistant manager. If you don't act a little crazy, people go a little crazy on you. So you gotta be like, oh yeah, something wrong with him. Then they'll leave you alone because they'll try you. So he said, I'm gonna show you today. I guarantee you she don't try many more black people.
Nope. Not at all.
She's just gonna say ER behind in like her house. She's gonna go down. She's gonna go out and look at the window and use the ER. Hard ER too. Yeah, see you out there. Mr. Marshall said he is not going. Shout out to everybody named Marshall. They getting to eat today.
Right? I'm saying. Again, shout out to Ms. Vonda, because that was something. I think I've seen it like 20 times this week. Like, seriously, I can't stop watching. It's so funny. It's just wow. It's colorful, it's inventive, it's creative, right? It's insulting in every possible way. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Just good. It's just great. Just great.
It is. And we got one more topic before we get out of here. And of course, I want to end on a great note. By the way, I'm only gonna play half the video. Y'all can watch the entire video this week. And I want to end the show with positivity. I want to end it with my guy named Jalen Hurts, who was in the Super Bowl. And why do I want to end it with him? Because he did something that lately I have seen that everyone said was impossible. Let me tell you. Let me show you better to tell you.
All right.
Listen, my brothers and sisters, there is hope. There is a way back to the promised land. It is here. You see this man right here, his name is Jalen Hurts. For you that don't know, my Twitter was going crazy when we played the Super Bowl because that's women's first time seeing him. They were super attracted to this man. And it went crazy. But now he's also the highest paid player in the NFL. You don't know something else interesting about him? Meet the black women on Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts all-women management team. We about to meet him. I'm about to disprove a lot of things here. I'm about to break your brain. Somehow, men and women, black men and black women can work together and create the richest football player in the world. Who knew that black men and black women actually work together? Let's talk about it. The Philadelphia Eagles are currently on a hot streak. This was early in the season. Hurts management is comprised of 5 women. 3 of them are black. I have a team of straight hustlers. They get things done, Hurts declared to the outlet. And that's how I am on the field and off the field. We're all trying to accomplish something. First off, we're going to talk about his agent. Nicole Lynn is his agent. Shout out to her. Nicole Lynn, you see her with him right now, talking to him. We have Charlotte, Chantel Romaine, and Shakima Simmons winner. They part of the communication team. You gotta have good communication. You gotta have PR. You gotta have some women in there that know how to make you look good, say the right things, be able to give what you really want to say. Expound on your words. Explain when you do interviews. Work on you. Get your communication out. Call the people you need in order to be the richest player in the league. You need to do this work. Going to the Super Bowl ain't easy, but you also need people around you to do great work. And that's what these black women did. They're doing great work getting paid. They get paid by this, man. This agent gets what percentage of this? Agent Nicole Lynn, shout out to her. Black men and black women working together. I just want to end it right there because I want to talk. Can we have a conversation? Listen, this disputes 99% of the things I hear on the internet. Listen, everybody like, oh, they difficult. Oh, black women difficult. Oh, black men don't listen. Oh, all this. And then you see the richest player in the NFL, $50 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's comprised of his most important people are black women. And two of them are hired by Clutch Sports, who is owned by LeBron James' friend and part of LeBron James' group. And he's got a communication. So a bunch of black people working together. And look, one is a billionaire, LeBron James. One is the richest player in the NFL, Jalen Hurts. Black people working together actually ended up successful. Ruby, did you think it could happen? Oh my God, this is like a Christmas gift.
Yes. I mean, I knew it could happen. I mean, but then that being said, I also grew up with the idea of Black Mecca, right, in Atlanta, and like nothing destroyed that dream for me. So like I didn't know it wasn't really like happening. And like for me, right, when I thought of America, right, because I'm in a country where we're only 3% of the population. So we don't really have like all black neighborhoods, all black anything, all black schools, all black companies. Like it just doesn't exist. And so when I thought of America, that's what I thought all of America was. I thought it was all just all these black different communities, universities, businesses, and whatever. And, where we all had each other's back. And, at the very least in Atlanta, but I mean, also in other places. So it was quite a shock for me to discover how much discord there was between black men and black women and how, or just even amongst black people, and how much we didn't support each other, how much the dollar didn't circulate within our communities and stuff like that in America, because I just really assumed that they did. I was so jealous of it. So, to me, and when I hear that, it's so crazy though, because when I hear it, it doesn't even sound off like, oh, wow, that's something special. I'm like, yeah, of course. Even though I know the logic, tells me, right? The facts say that is a rare occurrence and we need more of it. But in my brain, I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, of course. Yeah, of course that's what it was. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird, right? Like, I still haven't broken out of that. To me, that's just what it is. That's how it is. It's what it's supposed to be. I guess maybe because, like, people like my mom, right? She's always set that example, right? She's always set that example my entire life. Like, there are people long after she left this one company, she was an operations manager there. And long after she had left, I got like a little temp job in the summer kind of thing. And people still knew her name. They asked me if I was her daughter, and they were just like, wow, like she gave me a black man a shot. You know what I mean? No one else would have given me that shot. She gave me a shot. And, they're still there decades later or whatever. And, so I think because my mom's always set that example for me, it's always kind of like, yeah, of course. Yes, this is what we do. And I still see it, even though I know it's the majority that don't do this. I think I see it as the opposite, where it's abnormal and it must be the minority that, don't support each other, don't work together, don't see the benefits and the differences in a good way between black men and black women, and see that if we come together, how much more successful we can be, right? So I don't know. It's me.
It's true. I also believe in it. I always believed in it. I don't see why it wouldn't everywhere. Every time I see it, it always works out. Only time it don't work out is when one tries to like prove something to some other group or something else, and then all of a sudden they be like, "You holding me back," because they're not successful because they want to pretend to be somewhere else. And I'll be honest with you, you can't do what other groups do because you can't move that way.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, as you saw in this case, black people working together can be successful.
Very much, yeah.
To the point where back in the past they would bomb black men and women that come to work together because of what? Because it's actually working. But if you fight, you can't never accomplish nothing, and it's hard to accomplish something when you're always fighting everybody. And then everybody else kind of don't love you like you think they do or pretend they do. And then you realize the only thing you got is each other. But then you like, oh, I'm a divester or whatever. By the way, like I said, you can date whoever you want. You can do whatever you want. That ain't my concern. But I'm not gonna put down a sister just because of some weird thing that happened in my life or some hurt or my life was a failure. I put everything on me. If I'm not succeeding, it's on me. And my thing is, I want to help as many black people as possible to get up, to win in society. And sometimes even at the detriment of me, like, yeah, Trevor, you could just do this and sell out and be easy for you, and then but you have to give up. I'm like, nah. I think it'd be more satisfying just to live a life where all my people start winning.
Absolutely.
That's a better life to me. Me and my wife, my kids, my family, my cousins, everybody start winning instead of somebody being jealous, somebody being angry, somebody life not going where they think it's going, so they get mad at the world and blame you for it. Listen, life is so much better when you work together. That's all I'm saying.
Very much so. And just a final point there, what people don't realize is that there is no such thing as unlimited. So basically, if you think about it this way, right, there's a floor and there's a ceiling. There's a floor and a ceiling to everything. Okay, no matter how much people tell you your potential is unlimited, it is not. Okay, your ceiling is determined by your floor, and your floor is determined by your ceiling. Okay, and so if you raise your floor, you're also raising your ceiling. Okay, and so that is to say that when we're talking about our group economics, right, group success or group failure, group opportunity, group potential, right, it is dictated by the bottom of the barrel. Okay, and so it actually, you want to sit there and be rugged individualists and blah blah blah, good luck with that, because at the end of the day, until you raise the bottom, you're not raising the top. And so you're actually working to limit yourself when you don't care about the group, right? And you don't have to care about every group, right? But you should care about the groups that directly impact you, obviously, because if you don't, understand that you are limiting yourself and you're in your actual future potential. I'm just saying. So think about it.
That is true. Always, you can't take everybody with you, but you can try to at least leave a legacy. That's the one that you always have to do. By the way, if y'all don't believe me, being around billionaires and millionaires, even just powerful people in general, they help their own. Even I don't even have to be around them. Rick Scott, governor of Florida, was giving grants to his friends' kids. You want to know what that grant was, Ruby?
How much?
Studying. He's the governor of Florida now. I want y'all to know this. Studying the study of panda bears. $300,000 grant.
Nice.
I'm like, there's no. This is a state grant now. This is not federal. This is a state grant. Where is the polar bear at in Florida? That's
the zoo.
That's what they can't even live in that weather. It got to be like a freeze thing. They literally did a study of polar bear just to hook their friend kid up with $300,000.
Wow.
Listen, this is what they do for each other.
Amazing. Yeah.
And a lot of you won't give a loan of $10, and a lot of you won't get that loan back. So I ain't gonna forget you either. A lot of you won't give it back. We can't forget you either. Because if you don't give it back, you do lose trust, and you stay at the bottom because you can't lose trust. But that's all I want to say, Ruby. That's all I got for them. So I want to end it on a good note, showing everybody that black people, if we work together, we can win. We can be LeBron James, a bunch of black women with LeBron James. Jalen Hurts, the richest NFL player this week, and I was happy for him. Shout out to him. Hopefully Lamar Jackson get his money soon. I don't know what the situation with him is, but Jalen Hurts is now the richest player in the NFL, $50 million a year.
Nice. Very nice.
All women staff.
Yep. Hey, well, I'm just gonna say it like this also, which people don't seem to realize, but research has actually already indicated that married people are 40% more successful than their unmarried counterparts at all facets of life, right? And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we are literally, when you think about even think about the Bible stories, right? We are literally counterparts, which means you're gonna do best at life when you have both counterparts, right? These two people who have completely different strengths, completely different weaknesses, you complement each other, right? I don't mean compliment like you're nice to each other and say nice things. I mean, as in you work, you're symbiotic, right? And so someone who is very powerful and dominant as a man, for example, right? And he understands that what he brings to the table is that alpha power, and whatever. Then he also understands that what he needs is the feminine eye and the feminine problem solving and the way she might nudge things and right? So this is going to be a great balance. He needs someone to be able to maybe come in after he comes like a bat out of hell storm and just, a bull in a china shop. And then he needs a woman to come and smooth things out. And it's going to work out well because, he's the player. So, and I mean, I'm telling you, that is actually playing chess instead of playing checkers, right? And they do this. And it's not that hard because the thing is, there's so many of us who do want to work together, right? And who do want to each one teach one, lifting as we rise kind of thing. It's just about finding other like-minded individuals and let's work together. That's what I'm about. So
let's work together. Just like I'll be that news. Like and subscribe. Work together with us. So like and subscribe. This is the end of episode 4. It didn't go perfect, but it was smoother. So we improving. Let's go. We got backup plans now. So see, we ain't just leaving it out. Working together to make something work. I appreciate Ruby. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you. Like and subscribe, all this stuff. Hit the notification bell. We'll be back next Wednesday. Videos out every day. Full videos that you might not
next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday. See, we working together. We working together well. See that I'm talking about? See, that's what you need. See, I might misspeak. See that, but I appreciate you, Shar. Good night. Good night, everybody that stayed. We do appreciate you. I know I say it a lot, but I really do. It's a new channel. You ain't gotta be here, but you most of y'all stuck the whole time with us. I mean, this has been 2 hours and 30 minutes. I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all go home. So I'm out. Ruby in the last word.
All right. Yeah, no, that's about it. Vonda, Shar, Don Teasy, Mommy, Mama Bell, Biggie. Trying to remember all the people I saw come through the chat. Like, y'all, thank you so much for coming out, supporting us. Many of you, every single episode since the beginning, Wilhelmina. And please, y'all, remember to click like on your way out if you didn't do so on your way in. Please, if you could just share with people also, like I said earlier, we do release each one of these stories as individual stories as well throughout the week. So if there is a story you wanted to share with people or whatever, just make sure that you just check in periodically under the videos tab. And then, when you see that story come out, it will be easier for you to share that one video if you wanted to do that. Like I said, we're going to be coming out with some shorts, and we do have our community tab. Yay, we actually have a community tab, which is crazy, with like 22 subscribers. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for supporting us, because without your activity and support, it's probably unlikely that we would have already gotten our advanced features from YouTube and whatever, but we do, and it's thanks to you guys. So, just thank you very much. We will see you guys next week. I've got some special things coming out this week that didn't make it into the episode. I'll probably do like a premiere or something for a couple of them. So we shall see. It has always, as usual, it's been lovely, Zel. It's nice to see you out of the basement this week.
Yeah, I snuck out. Got a new camera.
Yeah. You're doing all right. You're doing all right. So it's good. Yeah.
All right, I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Cheers, y'all.